So I want to ask you about your books.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about your books?
Sure.
The links are in the descriptions, guys. So if you want to point down, the links are in the descriptions, right?
Yeah. So, you know, again, I'm a working mom, so I publish it when I get a chance to. And I have like 4 Buddhism books on docket that I have yet to go back and finish. Like one on female Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and just different areas. But I do have a published book on Buddhism, which is The Buddhist Guide to Manifest Parallel Realities, using the 4 Noble Truths and Eightfold Path in the Age of Consciousness. So that's out there on my Amazon office page. I also, you know, write and publish kind of coloring book vacation guides. For different vacations that I go on, like Hawaii and Barbados, and they're real excursions and real maps of the excursions that I've gone to. And I've gotten quite a bit of family or people, you know, email me, hey, I got that Barbados book, and me and my kids and my husband, we went there, and the tour guide was our 6-year-old kid who was telling us where to go from this coloring book, and we had a great time. So there's those ones. I had a dog and a cat cats that I adopted from the animal shelter, and I wrote a book, a coloring book with real pictures. Those are their real pictures. They are so loving, and people don't believe that that's really how they are. I said, no, that's their real pictures, and I could show you the pictures. I had it rendered into coloring books, and it's just to show, you know, adopt a dog, adopt a cat. They'll bring love into your life. And if you do become a pet parent, be a good pet parent. You know, so I've written those ones. And on the side, you know, I live here in Seattle. Everybody has a side hustle. They really do, because it's so expensive. So I, you know, aside from getting residuals from my books, I also do a wedding flower business on the side and take a couple of weddings throughout the year.
Girl, what don't you do? Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, amplification. You know, my challenge is to balance all the good stuff.
That's awesome.
But I wrote 2 bridal bouquet books, and anybody who's ever gotten married and ever tried to plan a wedding and to try to figure out how to do flowers for themselves knows that this stuff can blow up in your face, and you can be at each other's, you know, throat before you even reach the altar. So they're really good buys. They tell you how to pre-plan your wedding flowers, how to design and make it, how to organize your wedding and plan so that you have a wonderful wedding. And this is the first venture that you do together as a couple where it's peaceful and you get a good result. So that I've gotten a lot of people who just love the Bridal Bouquets book, and it's really helped them enjoy planning their wedding. So
that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, and so now I am finally going back to like my key. The reason why I usually just stay a hermit. I don't really get into limelight because I'm not really interested in showing my face everywhere.
You're so pretty.
Thank you. But so but with my QHHT hypnosis sessions, I get people coming in who are starseeds and indigos, and in some of my sessions, archangels like Metatron have come through trying to pull me back into the space, you know, to contribute and kind of help with the ascension process. And so that's why I reached out to you and others to get this information out there and just be available to clarify any things that people may have and just give a different perspective. Like,
yeah,
you know, I have a Buddhist, Hindu, you know, perspective on this from my tradition. So just a different perspective, because everybody's in the whole world is going through at different levels, different stages of awakening and Mandela effects, and it's freaking them out. And, you know, somebody with one modality may reach out to them and help them adjust. But for other people, that modality may not help them. So maybe a Buddhist perspective or an academic perspective on the same thing may help them out. So they can freak out a little bit less and not go on a shooting rampage.
That's so interesting too, because Brian came from. People have been talking about going on shooting rampages with this. I've heard it from multiple people, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously?"
Yeah.
I just become like, I like with the, you know, like I don't even like. I'm like so accepting, but at that point, when I don't even say anything. But like when people are talking about like going on shooting rampages, I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, there's nothing I can say. You're just, I don't know. I mean, do you need a hug? Like, what the? I don't know, but
don't kill yourself and don't go on a shooting rampage because you're having a freak out session with your Mandela effects. Okay, so there's plenty of resources. Calm down, take a deep breath. You need to, obviously, what you know so far is not helping you with this experience. So you need to start doing research, and you'll find different modalities and different things that can give you your answers and help you adjust to this reality. And so anyways, my hypnosis sessions, and so I agreed, okay, fine, no problem. I first I didn't want to do it, but I agreed, okay, fine, I'll do it. But I'm going to do it so that it benefits me. So I'm repurposing and rewriting and updating all my blog articles from 2011. And I'm putting it into a 3-part book series, which is
cool.
5D Awakening with Sacred Geometry. And in that, I go over what sacred geometry is in all spiritual and religious traditions going all the way back to 13,000 years ago. And I explain it with science and math and all these other things to show that all religions are talking about the same thing, and you can understand that through sacred geometry. So I'm finishing that, and then I'm working for the next 2 years. I'm collecting tribal folklores in Asia and the Polynesian Islands, and I am doing a book series. And right now, I'm just collecting the folklore. So I speak to different elders of different associations and tribes throughout the Polynesian Islands and Asia, just to collect the folklore. And when I feel like I've got all the folklore around megaliths and pyramids, I will put it into my book. Pyramids, megaliths, and tribal folklores of Asia. And then I'll move on to the next continent. But I do get people coming in from different continents to give me folklore, and I have to like table that, because what I don't want to do is publish something and I miss a very small tribe that may have a folklore that's very critical to the big picture. So a lot of the folklore that I'm collecting are about Lemuria and Atlantis civilizations. It keeps going back to that. So that's my project. That's my project right now, and I'd be happy to kind of talk about kind of those projects. I do have a video about the Folklores book and Buddhist mythology in my YouTube channel, Merkaba Chakras, QHHT.
Oh, you guys, and the links are below. So please, if you haven't subscribed to her channel, check out her website, buy her books, do all that good stuff, and learn about sacred geometry and stuff. Because
you know what, we'll do a show on sacred geometry next, and I can give you your whole audience a deep dive in sacred geometry. It will blow their mind.
Okay, that sounds really good.
The audience seems to like to be like.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I know where they got like a lot of the knowledge from and stuff, because like I said, after I got these updates, I'll look at different light sources and they'll break up into sacred geometry, and I could draw it and I recognize it, and it's like I'm looking at like some stupid like little like light or like a reflection of something, and without my glasses on, it's total sacred geometry. It's such a trip. So you'd have to, maybe I can draw some of them and you can tell me what it means.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to. I can create a PowerPoint, so it'll kind of show the different path, because I'm writing the book right now, so I have all the copyright images, and I can create a PowerPoint, send it to you, and we can go through each one. And I can explain, well, the Sri Yantra is 64 points in the Hindu Vedic text, so 7,000 years old. Those 64 points are 64 points in DNA, because DNA has 64, which if you put it into 3D, the shadow that casts from a Sri Yantra is the flower of life, which has 64 points of the flower of life. And I can go on and on. Before you know it, you're like, holy shit.
Somebody has a question.
It's all the same stuff. Everybody's talking about unity consciousness and consciousness. It's all the same stuff. So there should be nobody fighting about who's right or wrong in this or that religion. When you see and understand sacred geometry is in all religions, all spiritual traditions, and even all ancient archaeology going back 13,000 or more years ago, that stuff is cropping up then too. You'll see that it's all the same.
Everything seems the same. Everything seems to be coming back to the same point. One wants to know if you call the flower of life the life matrix.
Yes, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you call it.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, that's crazy. It's all crazy. And I think like the Mandela effect is just leading us back to that